Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 870 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and joining me today in pretend low Earth orbit, we have Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
Gentlemen, I rebooted and then my computer worked again.
That's terrific.
So you tried turning it on? I tried turning it off and then turning it back on again. I also updated all of the video drivers.
Well, that was exciting.
I got to tell you, like I have like a whole Proxmox cluster, and like it asks me when I want to update, so like I can know when things are going to not work. Like I can be like, okay, I have an hour now. Maybe it would be okay if things don't work. But with Windows, that just doesn't seem to be the case.
Cool.
Sometimes, it just says, no, you just don't want to do anything else except this. Yay. How have we been? It's been 2 weeks.
About the same. Yeah. Okay.
The holidays, it worked out okay.
Yeah.
In the end, I didn't want to murder anyone at the end of it. So, or myself.
Which really is a really successful holiday season.
Murder.
Yeah, no, it was largely fine.
Murder is
good.
The measure.
It was great being around the kids, and we did a lot of skiing.
That's cool.
So that was good.
And how are your bones?
They're good. I didn't break any of them.
You didn't break a single one?
Not one.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So technically speaking, when I dislocated my shoulders, no bones were broken. Gotcha. I mean, there was like a little fracture, but on the left one, but it was the labrum process, which is like a hard, almost cartilaginous bumper that holds your arm against the socket, or it's like keeps it from popping out. And that's what I damaged. And they repaired using drywall anchors and nylon.
The pond in my backyard has been very frozen, and the children of my neighborhood have begun playing hockey upon it.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Let me tell you, I miss hockey, but I also know that I'm not 14, and I'm no longer made of rubber, and I would die if I were to try to play hockey.
Did you fall a lot when you were playing hockey?
When you play hockey, you fall all the time because you're body checking people and knocking people over and then fighting them.
Oh, wow.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Hockey rules. All right, let's see what we got on the list.
Would you get into a lot of fights like in the professional games? Would you throw down your mitts?
When I played hockey, we didn't have pads or anything, and we would just freeze our backyard with a garden hose. And then it would be like my brother and the neighbor kids.
Cool.
And the thing is, I have one of my foundational memories was watching the movie Unforgiven, and then going into my backyard and playing hockey in my backyard. It was negative something degrees out, and I was playing in a t-shirt, and my parents were yelling at me to put on a coat, and I was just, because hockey's hard work, man. Like that's exercise. And I was just out there sweating, playing hockey it was pitch black. It was like midnight. Good times.
Cool.
After I play a lot of hockey, as a child, I would like to eat a hot dog. But you know where I can't eat a hot dog anymore without being declared a traitor? North Korea.
Oh.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things you can't do
hot
in North
dogs?
Korea.
Like,
It's because it's the symbol of American imperialism.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they banned apple pie and bald eagles there too.
Yeah.
Oh, they corn dogs.
No banners, star spangled or otherwise.
I think it's
What about moms?
Oh, hot pot dish.
Because America's our mom.
Yeah. Well, wait. This is important. So they forbid the sale of a South Korean dish which contained hot dogs or Spam.
So you can't put hot dogs in your mac and cheese?
And looking at this thing, no. So looking at this thing, I think that this is it's such an exciting dish. It's got hot pepper. It's got, flakes, kimchi, Spam, beans, sausage, and a broth. A umami-rich broth. I think it's just too exciting, If you go from hardtack and water to this, it's too much.
They're not ready for cassoulet there. For sure.
Yeah. Hot dogs are just a gateway food. to democracy.
There it is. Look what a delicious bowl of food that is.
That doesn't look very good.
What is the round thing? What do you think that is?
Trying to figure that out too.
Those are fingers.
So these are like potatoes and carrots.
No, those are. I think those are hot dogs, just sliced sideways.
Oh, I think you might be right. No, yeah, these are hot dogs.
Yeah,
those are
carrots.
Oh yeah,
those are hot dogs. The square things are Spam. The thing that looks like skin is kimchi.
This is kimchi here?
No, down
on the bottom left.
There.
Here? No, that's little bits of pork, man.
You think?
Is it?
Looks like it looks like pickled.
I thought it was
cabbage.
Skin.
Yeah.
Or kimchi. I thought for sure it was kimchi.
No, it's like a pork. Or
you can see the red on it. Yeah.
Well, there's red on everything, man. But yeah, this could be kimchi.
I want to eat it, but I'm hungry.
I don't know. It doesn't look terrible. You got some, mushrooms over here, some green onion.
A lot of democracy though. Probably a little bit too much freedom.
There's too much freedom in this.
Yeah, they hate our freedom.
So
guys.
no more for you.
You should write an angry letter to whoever's responsible for that. And you know what you could use as a stamp?
What could I use as a stamp for my letter?
You could use a Dungeons and Dragons stamp, Chris.
So I was at the post office mailing a couple of dangling holiday cards. I know you both got the holiday card, right?
I did get the holiday card. I got it like a week ago.
I'm glad. And I had one that I hadn't sent yet because, you know how it is. You send them out, they bounce back because they move and you moved. And they go, oh, here's my new address. And then you put it on there and you send it out again. But I had run out of stamps. I was using the James Webb Space Telescope stamps, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And
we lost our Rob.
No. And they had the D&D stamps. So I purchased a number of them. I came home and I said to my wife, I bought the D&D stamp. She's like, I did too. She had bought like 3 things and I bought like 4. So.
Well, if you buy more, like you can't double the stamps. You have to use the stamp with the most value. You can't like stack them. That's the thing
true.
That's the thing about D&D stamps is that they don't stack.
Yeah. You have to use the 5th edition rules for stamps.
Yeah, 5th edition stamps.
Yeah, but I might get some more so that I know that I have enough for next year's
you stock up
cards.
Well, you get forever stamps.
Well, these are forever stamps.
Well,
they're all forever stamps.
Then you don't need to, because like the old ones, in order to mail your postage,
I need to have enough quantity for the number of cards I send out, and I don't have enough quantity.
Right. And if you use the old stamps, you have to compute your THACO before you're allowed to mail your envelope.
Well, it's really true. I don't want to send off a stamp with an old, character sheet.
No, if you send a first edition stamp, it just comes right back.
Yeah, and if you're proficient in mailing, they arrive in a few days. If not, it could be weeks.
Right.
Yeah, it's true. If they get stuck at the tavern, they don't find their party. Yeah. There's all kinds of errors.
Although now it seems like at every intersection, somebody gets to roll another dice and add a bonus to it.
It's true.
It seems like everything now has bonuses that just are constantly being added.
Honestly, if it wasn't for that Beyond site, I don't know that I could play anymore. I need the help. It's just.
Well, I actually have another story on the list.
You do?
About D&D. We can.
Whoa.
There's a story a little further up. I'll skip a few. Somebody wrote a paper on using LLMs as DMs. So, Rob, you're gonna have competition. Is all I'm saying.
I'm not gonna have competition.
Not for a few generations.
I mean, lamer DMs might have competition.
Yeah. Not awesome DMs.
Yeah, they actually included the prompt they used, as well as the agent prompt. So
yeah, it's a whole PDF, like a whole thesis paper. I haven't read it yet. I'm looking forward to it actually.
There you go.
So they actually have the prompt.
It's in the appendix. I seem to remember.
Oh, we lost Rob again. Actually, at our last D&D campaign, somebody was saying that that the models, like the OpenAI models, actually are really good with the D&D rules. I haven't tried it though. I guess this is all. It's all happening, man. But I do like the idea that you could use the AI like as just keeping track of all your score and like the rules and stuff. Like I like that idea, and then you can just focus on the character and the story parts. but I'm not interested in spending all of my day computing thousands of maths in order to have fun with my friends. I draw the line
It's not that hard.
I like hundreds of maths, not thousands of maths.
Everybody, it's all set so everything works together. So once you learn the rules, it's not that hard. It's actually way easier than it was before.
Yeah. Well, you make it seamless, Rob. You're a good DM. You're a good DM. Let's see. We've got we got a lot of AI stories today. OpenAI's reasoning model is starting to think in Chinese. So that's cool.
Really?
Yeah. Not just Chinese, it was other languages too. It was just Chinese was the first one that they noticed since, the written Chinese is so too much different than English.
Yeah. That's wild. You always read about like how learning different languages causes you to like learn and think in different ways. It's interesting that AI has figured that out too.
Okay, sorry. I was punching it into ChatGPT to see if I could get it to act like a DM. Look at that.
All right, roll for initiative.
Wow. The wind howls through the trees of New Forest, rustling leaves like a whisper of long forgotten secrets.
Whoa.
That sounds so deep.
Well, I was using my low voice, you know?
That's nice.
Right.
That's your low voice. I don't know.
Okay.
So I have my mixer has these pads on it, right, with sound effects bound to it.
I believe you.
Yes. So, and I never use that because I find it cheesy. But my office, because it's really, really, really cold right now in Michigan, and my office doesn't have like really good heat, and so I came downstairs to sleep in my office the other night because I had insomnia. And it turns out that below some temperature threshold, one of the buttons on the pad just taps. Like it thinks it's getting tapped. And it was like an alarm siren, like a whop sound. So I am sleeping and that alarm goes off. And that alarm goes off like 5 times. And then before I finally figured out what was happening, because it's like I thought something in my house was breaking or on fire. And it turns out it's just the sound effects board that was on my computer that was still turned on. And it scared the ever-living crap out of me.
It sounds scary.
Yeah. So let's see. We got AIs are our dungeon masters. They're thinking in Chinese. And they're annoyed at humans.
Yep. Good combination.
Well, I mean, who doesn't resonate with this?
Well, it's specifically about podcast
although
hosts.
if you read what it said, the rudeness isn't that rude,
like normal rude.
Yeah, it's like more annoyed really than anything else.
Like the Notebook LLM.
I don't like it.
Yeah, one of the things was someone interrupted and it said, "As I was saying," or
as I was saying
to tell you,
reclaiming my time, mister.
Yeah. Let's take this outside.
Cash me outside, says the Notebook LM.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. We've got 1 in every 5 job listings on LinkedIn are fake, which actually seems kind of optimistic to me.
So my experience so far, I have not gone very far down the hole on it, but I've fluffed up the resume, got things ready, looked at a few things, and basically everything I've seen is just spam and nonsense. So I too was surprised it was so low.
Yeah, that seemed because like that's a whole thing now, right? Like people are putting up fake job listings to meet quotas for hiring requirements, like, and then people are like there's AI bots applying for jobs. Like LinkedIn really became weird.
So after getting booted from Google, I updated LinkedIn and stuff, and I have to tell you, I still kind of hate going to it because like the relentless cheerleading of every minor accomplishment, is just, it gets to me. I admit, I'm like, do you really think this is that epic of a work anniversary for you, you know, but which makes me sound mean, but it's hard to take LinkedIn seriously.
And I don't think I've gone more than a couple days without getting some spam about someone who wants to help me sexy up my resume. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
There's just so much of it.
Have you tried like putting on lipstick and kissing your resume so like there's some sexy red lips on it?
I'm not sure that's what most employers are going for these days.
Well, it depends on what industry you're going for.
That's true. Plus, you know, I got to be honest, I always end up getting the lipstick in my beard a little bit,
right?
No matter how careful I am.
But that's a thing, though. People might be into that.
Sure, I guess. I'm not sure I want to work for people who are into that.
That's fair. That's fair. We got a sad one. The director of the original Dune film, who did nothing else of note in his entire career besides Dune, David Lynch.
And Videodrome.
Yeah, Videodrome. David Lynch died at 78.
Wasn't he? He was Videodrome, right? No, that was Cronenberg.
Yeah, Cronenberg. Obviously, Twin Peaks is
the
bigger thing for the David Lynch and Mulholland Drive, and but I still loves me some original terrible Dune.
Yeah, it hits a sweet spot.
I loved that first Dune. You know that.
Yep. Sometimes you need a little Toto in your life, and the visuals in that movie, and Eraserhead's still kind of like, I still think Eraserhead is pretty cool.
Right, he did Wild at Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He did a lot of good stuff. He did a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, you don't really expect a psychosexual thriller based on The Wizard of Oz to be a hit, you know? He was an interesting dude.
He seems like one of the last of the real artists. You know what I mean? Like he was never particularly commercial. It was always the art end first. And a lot of directors now, you know, it's a lot more about the balance between the two. I think he was the real deal.
Was it cancer, you figure? No.
You know, I didn't read, and I kind of don't want to know. You know, he's 78.
He's a big smoker.
I think. So I know he's been working on silent curtain runners for quite a while, and I think he hurt himself, you know, putting those together.
Yeah. Death by IKEA.
The PAX cabinet just fell on him.
I tried watching the more recent Twin Peaks stuff, and it didn't work as well for me. A little too weird.
Yeah, I told you about that rally driving thing I did, right?
Probably.
It was held at the old Weyerhaeuser headquarters here in the Pacific Northwest. And the building where they did the training and the intake and the briefings and all that stuff was the sheriff building in Twin Peaks. Huh. And it's like, hey, my daughter's a huge fan of Twin Peaks. So I was like, well, I'm taking all these pictures and stuff. And they're like, yeah, this is where it was filmed. And like the power station that they burned sawdust and stuff at for power was, I think, also.
I'd want to go to the diner and get apple pie.
So I think the diner is in Oregon, right? Because there's a bunch of places that say, "Oh, we're the diner."
Yeah,
you know,
everybody thinks they're the diner.
I thought it was someplace in Colorado, but I can't remember for sure right now.
Yeah,
I know after the show they sold out pies and they opened up this huge mail order business. It really did a great job for them.
Yeah,
right on.
Twin Peaks diners.
Probably a few.
Double R Diner.
I've got another one on the list, which is maybe a little more for Chris, but there's an article from like the 70s about the Fortran code that they wrote to render in Alien. There's a little bit like a little computer display with a ship flying over some surface. And there's some interesting. It's interesting. He talks a little bit about how he had an idea of how to do it, and then a model showed up, and he's like, I can't render that. And the other thing I thought was interesting was that it was intentionally rendered without any perspective, so that it could that made it a lot easier to basically to fake, because it's not like a real 3D model or anything. It was all just like a kind of a little hacky screensaver thing, but it's a cute little article, interesting, worth a read, or at least a skim.
Oh, Sutcliffe, yeah.
And it's like ancient, you know, like this. It's weird to see. Oh man, that's my old modem.
CompuServe.
Is that Sierra Online? Wow, online.
Yeah.
That's Online Systems before they were Sierra, 1981.
Wow. What the hell is going on here?
That's amazing. The other one that I have on the list is one from you, Rob. This is a typo leads to a Maryland woman being declared dead.
Yes, this. So
Butthole?
I've been doing a lot of paperwork involving, you know, death. Well, you know, financial stuff, and a lot of that for verification purposes is tied to different databases to help, you know, say yes, you are you. And there is one out there yet that still lists me as dead.
Huh.
We've tracked it down to, they have confused me with my father because we have the same name.
Sure.
I'm a junior. And I've requested that, you know, they stop listing me as deceased, but no, it is still active. I'm still dead, according to one.
Can you prove you're alive, sir?
And so just this story, I was reading a little bit about her, like, you know, trying to do various things. They're like, I'm sorry, you're dead. You know, we can't do this. You can't open an account. You're dead.
I assure you, I am not dead.
Oh wow,
that's gotta
so
suck.
I got lost in a diner search, you know, and it turns out the Double R Diner, which is now Tweed's Diner, is about 9 minutes from the Weyerhaeuser location. So that's exciting.
Is it though?
No, but yeah, close.
But it is information. It's content, Chris.
It's content.
It's content. Let's see. Media. I watched Anora. Anora is awesome. You should see.
Okay.
You should see Anora. It's
what is Anora?
It's a Sean Baker film about a sex worker who accidentally kind of gets married to the son of a Russian oligarch.
Whoopsie doodle.
As you do.
As you do. But it's kind of...
Who is it?
Who has
He without sin.
So relatable.
Should be throwing this down.
So relatable. I mean, so it's like kind of a Pretty Woman sort of thing, but then in the second act, it takes a turn for the bonkers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really fun. And then the third act is kind of like this weird sort of like hunt, like trying to find somebody sequence. It becomes
the hunt for Red October.
No,
is that what you're saying?
No, okay. There's no Red October. There's just a pretty girl and a pretty boy and a bunch of mobsters, and it's really fun. But like I had this problem with this movie, and I actually had the same problem with Rob. We were talking about the other movie that I watched recently was Night Bitch. And which again, it's a good movie, but I've watched so much dark, fucked up shit in the last few years that when I watch a movie like Anora or a movie like Night Bitch, I am expecting everything to be so horrible. Like I'm expecting the ends of these movies to just be everybody is destroyed. And neither of those movies ends with everybody destroyed. Like Anora has a pretty melancholy sort of end, but like I expected the mob to be awful and like physical harm to come to these people and like torture and stuff. And the same thing with Night Bitch. Like I was expecting like gruesome, terrifying things to happen, but no, in neither of these movies did that happen. But it's weird because
Night Bitch is just a story of
A dog breeding, right?
like no, it's like can a woman have it all story. It's a take on that. It's there's a dozen movies that are that.
The sacrifices of motherhood.
Right. This one just so happens to involve a woman who turns into a husky. She literally turns into a dog, which is very jarring at first. And you're like, what? And then you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
This movie is mostly metaphorical.
Yeah. There's some cool body horror. There's some cool body horror. But like, again.
Wait a second. If she turns into a dog, isn't that a simile? Because
no, that's she's not like a dog. She
literally is.
If she is a dog, is that a metaphor or a simile? I don't know.
Well, I guess neither, because she is literally a dog.
In the context of this movie.
Therefore, it's not a metaphor, because metaphor is referred to.
But the movie
itself is closer to a metaphor
than
a simile.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe, like I said, I don't know if I've got them mixed up in my head.
But the movie is metaphorical because Amy Adams, the human being, did not actually turn into anything.
Well, as far as we know.
Well, that's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, he without sin.
That's true.
Right.
So the thing about Pretty Woman that always, I was like, shouldn't it end with everyone having a sexually transmitted disease?
Well, the original ending, he just drops her off on the highway.
Yeah.
So
just not on the side, but on the highway itself. Opens the door, pushes her out.
Okay, see ya.
Yep.
Yeah. There was that movie Highway, speaking of highways, which was a retelling of Red Riding Hood, but it was Reese Witherspoon and Kiefer Sutherland. And Kiefer Sutherland was basically a serial killer killing prostitutes. And Reese Witherspoon was like this prostitute who fought back.
Is it good?
It's actually really good. It's like stupid good.
He has respect for her gumption, and they fall in love and they marry.
What's it called?
No, that's probably Pretty Woman. That's
that's
Highway.
Highway. All right, I'll add that to the queue.
It was like in the 90s, I want to say.
I also just watched for the first time.
Freeway. It was Freeway. Let me see.
I watched Heavenly Creature last night too, or 2 nights ago. That was my other movie I'd never seen.
One. Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd never seen it.
Oh, that's a fun one. I really like how they do the girls pretend land.
Yeah.
And all of that stuff.
The weird practical effects and weird CGI.
I don't know that it's verbatim, but the line that is something like, only the best people have bone diseases, lives in my mind rent free. That is such a great line.
There's a lot of stuff in that movie that's really clever. It's like Peter Jackson, like actually with like a budget, making something that doesn't involve like puppets.
Even though there are kind of,
Yeah, that's true. And but the plasticine model faces costume things and but also that's Weta Digital. That's like CGI in 1994, right? Like the only people, there's like 3 companies that can print CGI to film in 1994,
And the story, like the real story behind the movie, the event is crazy. They do a really good job of telling that story, I think.
Yeah, and not making it into sort of like there's a version of this story where the girls
salacious.
The girls are caricatures. This is done really interestingly.
You see how they end up in that terrible place.
Yeah, I enjoyed it tremendously. Let's see if I saw anything else recently worth noting. I've been watching One Punch Man, so not really much. The season finale of Silo is out. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen season 2 at all.
And the season premiere of Severance is yesterday. So
I admit I only made it like 4 episodes into Severance. I know it's good. But
it's great. Yeah. It's really great. Did either of you end up watching Dune Prophecy?
No.
It's hard to recommend.
I only got a couple episodes into Skeleton Crew 2, and I just can't do it.
Skeleton Crew finally won me over. Like episode 6, they finally paid off a few things, but it is just straight up a kids show.
Yeah, my problem with it now is I haven't paid attention close enough that I know I'm missing plot points or things that I'm supposed to know.
You might not be. It's pretty simple.
I'm just not willing to go back to it, you know?
Yeah. I can see that. I really liked it's hard having a show with kids. Like kids are often not very good actors, and like a lot of times you just see tiny people saying words and you don't really feel acting from them. And
we're in the middle of Modern Family right now.
Yeah.
And Lily is such a bad actress.
Yep.
That it really takes away. The other kids are great.
Yeah.
But the other kids also had a shtick when the show started. She was a baby.
That's
right.
True.
So they're trying to invent something for her.
Right.
And they just don't ever land on anything.
She does get a little better as the show goes on. But for many seasons, she is like an active distraction. Like Anakin in Phantom Menace, you know, like some actors, like when you see the words coming out of their mouth, the thing you're watching stops. And that's really hard. And with Skeleton Crew, it kind of goes. Some of the scenes are really good with the kids, but then some of them aren't as great. Like the kid that they had playing Princess Leia in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show couldn't land all the lines, and it was rough. But when there's a couple of episodes towards the end where the kids do a really good job, and that kind of won me over when they pulled that stuff off. But I'm not going to tell you that that's like must-watch TV or anything. It's kind of for essential Star Wars fans only. Anything besides the highway that I need to add to my list? Yeah.
What were we watching? We have a couple episodes left of the Interior Chinatown. That's been okay. It kind of doesn't know what it wants to be, but it's good. It's fun.
I just got I added to my queue. What is it? The Garth Marenghi.
Dark Place Hospital?
Yeah. I just got that. I've never seen it. I'm looking forward to it.
It's something.
So have you guys watched Kunk on Life yet?
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. I'm looking forward to it though. I have a flight coming up. So
we laughed and talked so much through Kunk on Life that we have to watch it again because I know I missed stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know if it's as tight as Kunk on Earth, but there are a dozen or so lines in there that are just absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
It is so freaking.
I love that character.
So funny.
I love that character.
She's so good.
All right, gentlemen, let's go about our days. Fare thee well to Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
And to Chris DeBona.
See ya.
That was episode 870 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco Malda, and I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.